Hello viewers, my name is Praveen Pandey. On the last video, we learned about the enterprise integration and what are their functional and technical challenges we can face while deploying. And this time, in this video, we are going to learn about the integration tools and framework and what are the different licensing models we have. So let's start what we are going to cover in this. So first, we are going to know what is a integration framework and what are different tools and how these tools evolve period of time that we know about in the second slide. Who are the main players of this integration tools? How to select the good tool that and what are the functional evaluation criteria that we have to consider, and then technical evaluation criteria. What are the different licensing model we have, and how to optimize this licensing model, and end of the day, end of the slide, we will have some questionnaire answer that you can forward to me. So what is integration framework or tool? So integration framework which enable us to independently design application to work together, and the required capabilities include such like it should provide you the access to the multiple data source. It should be scalable and provide you good performance. It should provide you bulk and batch data processing. And then we have a message oriented data movement, then data virtualization and active metadata support. Uh, Metadata is something is a key component of the improving the efficiency of data driven solutions, and data replication and synchronization, uh, stream data integration, uh, integrating data source in real time to provide up to the minute information. And this in competitive world, this allows organizations to analyze the information in real time, and data preparation and usability. So let's discuss how these integration tools evolve period of time. So 70s and 80s where data integration basically done through file transfer, and then we have a common database, and first EDI message came into the picture. Uh, it was non-real time in nature, batch processing, and lot of ETL based processing. In 90s, we released some of the features like remote procedure call, object request brokers, and then message oriented middleware. And it was real time and client server technology based. And 2000, with then we have service oriented architecture came into the picture. It was about web services, enterprise services buses, and business process modeling. uh, then 2010, uh, when cloud started to grow, cloud computing started to grow, then we have a REST APIs came into the picture. It was more real time and software as a services model. In 20, the new technology is coming up, gaining speed, is blockchain. It's about cryptography and smart ledger, where the shared data and distributed business processes are there. So the back blockchain is itself is a very big topic. Probably we will have some detailed video on this in future. Let's move to the next slide. Who are the main players? Like, if you, there are 25 plus vendors available in the market, and some of the key players are IBM. They have an IBM integration bus, and like every organization is changing their focus toward the cloud integration. And Informatica have Informatica Power Center, which is on-prem. Then they have a ICS, which is cloud-based version, one of the best tool. I have worked on this. And then we have information builder. It has a data integration services. Then Microsoft, SSI is one of the popular tools for data integration. Then they have released Azure Data Integration Services. Then Oracle, MuleSoft, AWS, SnapLogic, Dell, and Talent. A whole lot of list of integration. Uh, they provide integration tools for cloud as well as on-prem. So, what are the criteria for selecting the good tool for your organization? Or for your business. So first of all, as discussed in previous video, you have to list down what is the future state. Then based on this, you have to list down your functional and technical requirement for the future state, and then you have to define the scoring matrix and priority, and you have to identify all application which will be either source or target interface details and their limitations as well. That will help you to select a good tool. And, and monitoring and logging and troubleshooting SLA requirement, that you need to discuss this with your vendor. Then a system requirement based on the estimated volume and frequency, like you need to plan like maximum threshold volume and how frequent you are going to use this integration. And licensing model, I recommend you optimize what is requirement for your business. No need to buy a whole lot of services. And then they have a short list of at least 2 to 3 vendors, or three to that you based on your requirement. A skill requirement is a very important component, because this tool is the vendor may give you information about like UI based integration development, but this is not true. You should they require some technical knowledge, and yeah, this is important part. So ask deep questions and probably try to do some hands-on on trial version. And what is the backup and DR configuration on the vendor side, that you have to be sure that they have good uh, configurations available. And how the major and minor upgrades happens with these tools. So you don't want to land in buying some tool which does not upgrade in future, or uh, uh, something which you require you to pay in future if you want to buy something. Yeah, okay. And so what are the functional, like, evaluation criteria? So one, the tool you're going to procure is should be easy to implement. It should not, like, you don't have to change your whole infrastructure, or you don't have to, it should be easy with your whatever the system applications you have. How much the learning curve is required, like suppose your organization is more comfortable towards the Microsoft technologies, but somehow there is some other technology came up, this will learning curve will be increased. So again, there's how on-prem and cloud connectivity is available with this tool. So what are the cost? Like, you have some features that is mandatory for your business, and what are the cost? Probably you can negotiate better on that. And how many users, like user management, if any restriction on role and number of users, and if there is support SLA related uh, questions. And probably when you start the demo of this product, use your business case demo that you provide the vendor, and probably they will come up with this how they handle this scenario in their presentation. And one important thing, how is presence in the market, and go through the reviews of customer reviews. Yeah. So then comes the technical function evaluation criteria. So how this on-prem and cloud integration works, this is a very important question. Then how high-availability configuration works, and then security is another important aspect that you have to put focus. And how is easy to scale, and then what is the performance configuration, what are the adapters or connectors available for this. And you should see that if so you have software you're already using, whether they have a ready-made connector available or not, or is it paid, or yeah. Then you have to focus on API manager requirement, which is required or not, SaaS connectivity, and how the DevOps works with those tool. Let's move to the next slide. So in this, we are going to discuss about the licensing model. So there are two licensing model basically. The one is on-prem, where initial cost is less. It's about 10 to 9 to 12%. But when you there is when you think about the surrounding systems like how the customization, hardware, then subject matter experts, technical person, hardware maintenance, training, all things is going to increase your cost a lot. So if you think by the subscription cloud-based model, the initial subscription cost is high, little more high, but this will save you a lot of problems in future, like you don't have to maintain any hardware or any maintenance training. All is taken care at the at the cloud computing model. So this is something to think about, and all organizations are focusing on cloud-based integration. But again, this is all up to you to have take decision based on a business requirement uh, to go with any model. So if you go with the license, how to optimize the licensing model, right? So do not spend money on the license you already have in your organization. So probably you can have the list of like you can make a list like you have a software asset management tool that you can provide with information that whether this information you already have or not, and and optimize as you pay as you go contract. That's something very interesting part. And monitor your usage, like you should use some tools. It should be provided by the customer of the cloud, the that it could help you to monitor, and then reharvest the license. And probably the feature you're not using, you don't have to renew this next year. Cover any under licensing, and we should also document and standardized like any procurement process. If you want some new feature to be added to your tool or your subscription, or you want new connector or new adapter, how you're going to procure it, that you can initially negotiate for the period of time. Yeah, that's all from my side. And if you have any questions, please forward me questions to think.enterprisearchitecture@gmail.com, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel for future. And thank you very much for watching this video.